At the age I am now, looking back, I think everything that I've achieved in my career I'm massively appreciative of, because at one stage at that young age I thought it was all gone. The first time I got diagnosed, it was actually a weird situation. I was travelling to actually watch my brother up in Inverness. He was playing for Rangers youth team at the time, and I couldn't watch the game. I had to lie in the car and sleep. I couldn't manage to get out of the car and sit in the stadium. I didn't have the energy for it. And yeah, on the way back from that, I think I was 12 years old at the time. On the way back from that game was when I first initially went into hospital, not knowing what it could have been or what it was. And yeah, I spent a couple of weeks in Aberdeen hospital, and they obviously then diagnosed me with Crohn's disease, and I got fed through a feeding tube through my nose into my stomach, and I think it was 6 to 8 weeks I had that. It was tough as a 12-year-old boy being at school, having this tube hanging out my nose, people obviously staring at me and wondering what was going on. I had been fighting it discreetly in my own way, because I didn't want to not give in to it as such, but I wanted to be out there playing football. I wanted to be out there living my life, and I was sort of living in the background with these horrendous stomach pains and fatigue and the problems that come with Crohn's. I think we beat Morton in the Scottish Cup, and that was the last straw. That game was the one. I went home that night. My parents were up for that game, and yeah, I broke down that night, couldn't go on. The pain was too much for me. I went into hospital at Inverness, and within a matter of days had a big op. I think it was an 11-hour op in the end, taking part of my bowel away, part of my colon. I had 3 abscesses at the time, which I didn't know about either, that needed drained and dealt with. So yeah, that was the biggest point of my Crohn's journey, was dealing with that, and the operation was the best thing that happened to me. At the time, Terry Butcher was my manager, who was a massive influence on not only my football career in terms of giving me my opportunity in football, but being around me at that time, visiting me every week, seeing him at times through that bit of a ragged beard, hair a bit longer than usual, and seeing it having a little bit of an effect on him as well, and how close he was to me at that point. It was massive for me, and after coming out of hospital and trying to build my fitness back up and my physique and everything else, he was there with me all along the way, telling me, look, there's a place for you when you come back, don't worry about that, you'll be right back here with all the boys. So having that alongside me was massive to keep going, and it was touch and go probably whether my career was going to go ahead or not. My health was the most important thing, was getting healthy again. The football was never in my mind. To be sitting here now, still the captain of Aberdeen Football Club, and still playing at a high level every day is a blessing for me, and I take each day as it comes. Some days are okay, and some days it hits me like a steam train. It's a case of trying to manage it as best I can, in terms of relaxing when I need to, and just switching off and letting my body recover. You're at a club like Aberdeen, there's a massive demand to play well every game, and there's a massive demand for me to be at the top of my game every game, and that is tough when you're carrying an illness like Crohn's, but I've managed to deal with it pretty well, and my form's always been relatively consistent. Some people will say consistently bad, but I've had a consistency that I've been happy with, and that's been down to sort of how I've looked after my body. If I was an 18-year-old and hearing me sitting here speaking and saying that I've achieved a lot of my dreams, I've played at a high level, I've won a Scottish Cup, and I've played for my country, you can still achieve all your dreams. Yes, you have to tailor your daily routine and look after your body and everything that you eat, but that just comes as a sort of normal once you get used to your illness and you accept it. But the main message is that it will never hold you back, and you can still achieve everything that you want to achieve in life. That doesn't necessarily have to be football. It can be anything that entails what that lifestyle is to that specific person, but it will never hold you back.